Joan Van Ark, a beloved and iconic figure in the television world, first wooed audiences with her role as Valene Ewing in the soap opera Knots Landing. Throughout her multi-decade spanning career, her stellar performances have won the hearts of fans worldwide. Now aged 80, Joan's life has undergone a surprising transformation, rendering her almost unrecognizable to those who remember her from back in her prime. In this video, we'll unveil the current-day Joan Van Ark, the octogenarian who continues to astound and inspire us in her own ways. Born to entertain. Joan Van Ark was born June 16, 1943 in New York City to Dorothy Jean Van Ark and Carol Van Ark, both of whom were writers. Of Dutch ancestry, she was raised in Boulder, Colorado, alongside her three siblings. When she was 15, she was inspired by an interview with actress Julie Harris. Van Ark followed Harris's advice and applied for a scholarship to the Yale School of Drama, joining the prestigious institution without an undergraduate degree. Her professional acting career took flight at the Guthrie Theater, where she appeared in Molière's The Miser. Her early career also saw her starring in Barefoot in the Park and her critically acclaimed performance in The School for Wives, which earned her a Theatre World Award and a Tony nomination. But it was in 1978, when she was cast as Valene Ewing in the CBS series Dallas, that Van Ark began to gain mainstream fame. This role was spun off into the long-running series Knots Landing, where she starred for 13 seasons and received the Soap Opera Digest Award for Best Actress in 1986 and 1989. Leaving the show in 1992, Van Ark continued to work on various projects, including the CBS miniseries Knots Landing: Back to the Cul-de-Sac, and other popular shows like The Nanny and The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. From 2004 to 2005, she even starred in the soap opera The Young and the Restless. Off-screen, she made a significant impact in theater, starring in productions like Love Letters, Three Tall Women, and The Exonerated. Van Ark has consistently remained close to her roots. After the death of her mentor, Julie Harris, in 2013, she announced the creation of the Julie Harris Scholarship at a Broadway memorial service, supporting the education of a student at the Yale Drama School. Despite her busy career, Van Ark has maintained a fulfilling personal life. She and her husband moved to LA, and even after his passing, she remains engaged in various projects and philanthropic activities. Joan's transformation. Joan Van Ark's departure from Knots Landing came as a surprise to many. After 13 incredible seasons, though, she felt it was time for a fresh challenge, a desire largely inspired by her husband's own bold career decisions. John Marshall, a news reporter, made the drastic move to leave a long-standing job at KNBX Channel 4 to join KCOP Channel 13, only to abandon this new role after a single day, spurred by an urge to explore different avenues. Van Ark viewed her husband's risk-taking as inspirational, propelling her to leave her comfort zone. Van Ark parted ways with the CBS show on amicable terms, leaving behind a cast she considered family. Nevertheless, she embarked on her post-Knots Landing journey, carrying a heavy heart, the memories of her character, and the cast she deeply cared for. Life after Knots Landing also meant a departure from the storyline that mirrored her personal life. Just as her character Valene was married to a news reporter, Van Ark shared her life with her high school sweetheart John, who was also a news reporter. The couple's daughter, Vanessa Marshall, followed in her mother's footsteps and embarked on a successful career in the entertainment industry, specializing as a voiceover artist. Leaving the role of Valene was not easy. Van Ark felt her character lacked the excitement and elegance she craved in her real life, often imploring the writers to inject more zest into Valene's storyline. Furthermore, the disillusion of Valene's relationship with Gary left a void in the show's narrative, a fact that weighed heavily on Van Ark as she felt a sense of responsibility when the show finally ended. While she hoped to make a quick transition to a new project, her anticipated pilot on NBC didn't materialize. Regardless, she expressed no regrets about her time on the show, which she viewed as one of her career's proudest moments. In the years following her departure from Knots Landing, Van Ark underwent a notable physical transformation. Media outlets and observers noted her increasingly tight skin and fuller lips, sparking speculation about potential plastic surgery. Even though he didn't personally work on Van Ark, plastic surgeon Dr. Anthony Yoon suggested the likelihood of at least one facelift contributing to her sharper jawline. Her smooth forehead and lifted brows were also indicative of cosmetic procedures, leading to Yoon advising the general public to opt for less invasive treatments like Botox. Public appearances showcased Van Ark's startling transformation. Her attire was often overshadowed by heavy makeup and significantly altered facial features. Eyewitness reports from the 40th anniversary celebration of Knots Landing suggested that Van Ark's physical alterations had become more drastic over time, with some even claiming her face appeared to have quote-unquote melted. Despite the public scrutiny, Joan Van Ark continues to carry the legacy of her beloved character with pride. Her transformation, both in her professional and personal life, testifies to her resilience and determination to embrace change and challenge the status quo. Catching up with Joan. Despite living a notably private life in recent years, Joan Van Ark remains active and engaged in the Hollywood community, even as she embraces her 80s. One of her more public undertakings was her involvement in a Knots Landing reunion event, which proved so successful it was hosted 3 times at a Palm Springs nightclub. The positive reception to the gathering spurred discussions to bring the reunion event to different cities in 2023. It's clear that Joan's love for her iconic character and her cherished co-stars remains unabated, as she was seen fondly reminiscing over old clips from the show during these events. Over the past few years, she's been lending her voice for various cameos in shows like Curious George and Doom Patrol. She also took up dubbing for a Disney Plus show, translating it from Spanish into English. She also worked on a pilot for a show named Hans, demonstrating her ability to juggle multiple projects. Even in this admittedly late stage of her career, Joan continues to seek out new and interesting roles. Her most recent on-screen role was in a TV movie called The Wedding Stalker, where she appeared alongside Heather Morris from Glee. Joan also made a guest appearance in the reboot of Dallas, which she admitted felt different after the loss of Larry Hagman. That said, her commitment to her craft and her connection with the iconic series allowed her to step back into the role with grace. Her continued involvement in theater is another facet of her busy schedule. She's recently appeared in Tennessee Williams' A Lovely Sunday for Crèvecoeur at Hartford Stage and was seen performing at Brit Week 2016 at the Annenberg Theater in Beverly Hills, where she portrayed Lady Macbeth alongside Harry Hamlin. Her work behind the scenes hasn't gone unnoticed either. Joan, who was once nominated for a local Emmy for directing a special on homeless women, continues to explore this aspect of her career. She filmed an independent feature, The 636, and appeared on the webisode Pretty, earning an Indie Soap Award for Best Guest Actress. At 80, Joan remains a vibrant part of Hollywood, embodying a spirit of creativity, resilience, and charm. Now it's time to hear from you. Let us know in the comments section below.